Welcome back. When you go to see a doctor, most of the time they will ask you for details about your family medical history. But why? In this week's Medical Center Health Systems Taking Care of You, Diana Ruiz is here to help us understand why this information has such a significant impact on our own health. Thanks for being here with us today. There are kind of three ways you say that our family history can impact our health.
Absolutely. So there's three different types of genetic disorders, if you will. Some of them are maybe more common than others. So one of the types that we're talking about today is the chromosomal type. So that would be things like maybe Down syndrome. And so the good thing about that type of condition is that there's a lot of testing done in the prenatal period when you're actually pregnant. And so you're able to determine if you're at risk or if you're maybe, if the baby does have some of those conditions.
So
that's
you can
one
prepare
type.
For a delivery.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. And so another kind is single gene. And so that's a single gene mutation, if you will. And basically what happens in that case is there's just one gene that might be just a little damaged and not quite right. And so it's important to know if you have a risk for that. Let's say you have a family history. Genetic counseling would probably be a good idea. Mm-hmm. An example of a single gene mutation may be something like cystic fibrosis or something like polycystic kidney disease. They're both rare, but it's really important to be tested.
Okay, and the third kind, though, is really the kind that we can play an impact or play a role in once we know where we stand.
Absolutely. So the third kind is called multifactorial or complex. And that one's kind of a blend of both things. Not only is it a mixture of what you've inherited, maybe from your parents, but it's also some lifestyle choices that we make. So that one's the one that we really have a great impact on, and you can fight those. So many times it's frustrating to hear people say, well, my mom and my grandmother had diabetes, so I will too. Mm-hmm. Well, you might, but that doesn't mean you should just surrender and give into it, right? You should really start doing the right things, eating healthier, exercising more, and really taking good care of your health, going to your doctor appointments routinely. So it's really important that in that multifactorial one, you're aware of what you're at risk for, but you also are aware of how you can prevent it from progressing.
I know in my situation, since my mother did have breast cancer, that's always part of the screening. My father also had cancer. Is it so that they will know I might want to start having mammograms a little earlier than some people? Is that what they're trying to determine in those areas?
Absolutely. So particularly with colon cancer, breast cancer, and ovarian cancer, you can actually determine your risk early on in life. You can start preventing the progression if that were to occur, or you have those screening tests done much more frequently than the average person would.
So it really is kind of a preventive way for medical professionals to get a gauge on where you stand.
Absolutely, and it kind of forecasts into the future of what may come so that you can kind of gear left instead of heading in that direction.
It's such an important thing to know. And so the conversations you probably should have with your family members, like, tell me a little bit about granddad, or did grandma, and I don't always know the answer to what my family history is, so a smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
Diana, thank you so much for being here with us today. We sure appreciate it.